Coming from the true space, we ain't entertaining neighbors. I don't give a fuck what you say. Found the universal coochie, planting seeds and birds fruit. Now I'm really looking juicy. Welcome to the true space. Yeah, bitch, welcome to the true space. Welcome to the true space. Yeah, bitch, welcome to the true space.
What about Sagittarius? They have this going through their third house. How do you think this would be hitting Sag there?
So you guys have become more aware on how you guys could be fixated or stubborn, and the way you guys connect or associate with people within your immediate surrounding, which include your neighbors, your co-workers, your brothers. So you guys this is mutable air how, so it's all about really allowing things to flow indecisively, so you could like gather information and continuously be curious around your immediate surrounding. But having the sun in Aquarius, he's gonna make you more fixated, more stubborn, and not allow yourself to get moved by certain thoughts, ideas, conversation. You might be on a mission, and then you walk out the door, your neighbor might try to stop you and have a conversation with you. You're gonna be like, maybe fuck that, I got this things going on, so I gotta move this way. Because you have like a mental spaceship, and then within your immediate surrounding, you're not allowing nobody to budge that. But that could be very stubborn too, preventing you from gaining information, allowing your brother to tell you, hey, watch out this, watch out that, sometimes, which could be very dangerous. The last thing you want to do is like hold the breath when in a mutable house. Type of, if you get to what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, interesting. That's funny. Yeah, it does make sense, and I get what you mean. How it could lead to certain stubbornness in terms of, maybe you start getting to that opposition or us and them type energy based off of your surroundings, and start separating things in your surroundings and attacking or going against certain things in your surroundings, and not allowing them to help facilitate your mentalities, and where it could be good, just like what Harris was saying, in terms of narrowing your mindset. You may be really closing yourself off to the information that your surroundings can offer you. I suggest, instead of separating yourself from your environment, you start working with your environment, with the associations and communication networks that you have, and start focusing on shaping it to better facilitate you, and how you can work with these things, how you can associate better with your friends, neighbors, the convenience store guy down the street, your siblings, everybody that's around you in your immediate surroundings, in your everyday life, and your day-to-day lives. How can you utilize these things to move forward? What's the most logical way to look at your surroundings and stuff like that, and working with them? Now, this may mean, cutting certain people off, or stop giving certain things a thought and time, but you don't have to look at it as such separating, Look at things of how you work with things, and how you can logically move things into your advantage, instead of having to separate yourself emotionally so much as to not be affected. And now you start being the Aquarius, or you that ghosting energy, where you start cutting things off and stuff like that. But yeah.
And you're already Sagittarius, so you already seek freedom. So imagine trying to go far with that energy. You're gonna have no one. You're gonna be by yourself.
Exactly. Exactly. And when you get into that certain idea, where the dangerous thing for Sag energy is when it gets big-headed, and I feel like that can happen when, and I find it a lot with fourth house and Sag, or like Cancer and Sag mixed up, because of the Jupiter connection, because Jupiter's exalted in Cancer. But when you put Sag in a box, Sag can learn every corner about that box and think it's the shit. Like, it gets so big airheaded, it knows everything in the world. But then it forgets that it's in a box, if you get what I mean. And then all of a sudden that the whole wisdom and knowledge ain't shit, but maybe they don't know that, and they still have the big inflated head. So this is where we're talking about utilizing your surroundings in order to push things forward instead of just blocking things off, because you want to be open to new possibilities, and be the alchemist that you are, Sagittarius, and you can start making things work for you, that and taking advantage of opportunities and optimisms that are there once you start working with your surroundings in a more logical way. But just recklessly and restlessly jumping into experiences, mixing and blending certain energies and stuff like that. You may force yourself to have to be stubborn about your surroundings and stuff like that.
As a Sagittarius, you're already like very disorganized. So maybe with the sun in Aquarius in your third house, you'll figure out a way how to be an organized kind of person, and like delivering your own form of like morality and spiritual to the people within your immediate surrounding. So they kind of see how could they go work with you, because sometimes as Sagittarius you may not know how to explain all the things that you see and all the things that you believe in. So an Aquarius definitely will help you. You communicate logically, make sense. It's not all about like a different type of things. So, like sometimes it could be way easier.
Yeah, and sometimes if you were to just talk about certain things and categorize certain things and organize certain things, you could help explain the meaning and the deeper meaning and the spiritual meaning that you see behind certain things. In terms of like look at spirituality and science. Certain people just want the spiritual perspective of certain things, or some people just want the scientific perspective of things, but they be saying the same goddamn thing, just in different ways, and not be seeing that link. So you don't want to be stubborn in that way. Sagittarius in its ultimate form can see the meaning and truth in everything, and Sag the energy where everybody is right or everybody is saying what I'm saying. And a Sag can break it down. You can say whatever and be as opposing as you want. But Sag at its higher power will break down how what you just said was supporting what everything that they would just say. And you can't fight with it. And then you don't want to at a certain point. It's like you're fighting yourself. So that's how Sag will have you make you feel.
I like to call Sagittarius like the drunk guru, because he is a guru, but at the same time he's kind of drunk at the same time.
Absolutely. Drunk ass auntie. Give you some wisdom, but they crashed your mom's car that one time, so you can't trust them all the time, them type of energy. Absolutely.
Yeah, and watch out. A lot of Sagittarius are alcoholics, or they put themselves through a lot of experiences that cause inflammation, like real ass shit.
That's facts. That's facts. So yeah, that's how Sag is looking.